Hi, this is Kate from the appointment department at Retell Health. Am I speaking with Imtiaz?
Yeah, that's me.
Great. I'm calling to remind you about your annual body checkup scheduled for Thursday, April 4th, 2024 at 10 a.m. PDT.
Hey, maybe you are an AI entrepreneur, a consultant, or a developer. You want to build your first voice agents, but you do not know where to start. Some are simple, some are complex, some are technical. You want to start with a platform that will give you exactly what you need to get started with your voice agents. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about Retell AI and how it compares against other voice agent providers. And also, you're going to be making your first test call as well. So watch this video. Also, before we start, make sure you join the free school community and get access to the voice agent course, where I'm going to give you a detailed breakdown of all the voice agent platforms. Plus, you're going to get more insider scoop on how other voice AI agent providers are using this service. Without further ado, let's get started. So you probably noticed how everybody's using voice agents. It's everywhere now, from customer service, from sales calls. They're changing how businesses communicate. Here's the thing, most platforms are either too complex or maybe too expensive, right? So that's where Retell AI comes in. It's designed to make voice agents accessible while still being powerful enough for real world applications, right? So when you go to retell.com, you're going to learn about some of the features like auto sync knowledge base, which is really important. And we're going to dive into what they actually mean for your voice agents, because voice agents need some training data for it to pull information from. So AutoSync is going to enable that workflow to happen behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about the technical details. The great thing I like about Retell AI, even though it's a little bit technical than 11 Labs, you have a little bit more control over the build. It's a no-code platform, so you don't need any coding or anything of that sort, but you can control the flow, you can control the knowledge base that goes in, you have access to the voice, you can add custom functions, perhaps you want to connect it to the calendar, etc. So that's where these things would really come into play. The Navigate IVR is also going to be important, because when voice agents call systems, and they might have IVR, so to get past that, you can also instruct the voice agents to basically type something in that keypad to get past that, right? It could be a little bit challenging for other voice agent providers. So Retell AI has made a lot of these features very seamless for builders. And also the flexible pricing option is very attractive, especially if you want a modular pricing approach. 11 Labs, even though it's very beginner friendly, you don't have to worry a lot about the tech, but the pricing could be a factor, right? So depending on what you're comfortable with, you can choose either one. Retell AI is going to give you a little bit more in terms of the pricing. VOP is going to be the most technical. It's more developer friendly, so you have more control over the schemas and things like that. There's some other features that could be useful for you: multilingual support, effortless scalability, and it's fully compliant, right? So these are for enterprise level. These are pretty standard compliance requirements. So it's great that Retell AI already comes pre-built with that, and you can integrate other systems to Retell AI. So that's one less headache you can worry about. So when you come to the Retell AI platform, you're going to see something like this. This is your dashboard, and you're going to have a list of all the agents that you have created. So I would normally like to do this one at a time, get the agent done, the knowledge base, attach a phone number, then manage all the billing, API keys, webhooks, everything of that sort. So if you're a beginner, I like you just create a workspace. This is going to be a workspace that you manage, or perhaps you can manage for your team or for your client or whatever. And then you can build your agents from that workspace. Now, the great thing with Retell, it gives you 1 hour of minutes. So you can get started with the build, go test it out, attach a number. Could be Twilio, could be Retell AI's own numbers. There's pros and cons of using either one. We're going to talk about that in another video. First and foremost, you want to decide what kind of agent you would like to create. Do you want to create a conversation flow agent? This is designed for tasks that requires complex transitions and multi-step conversations. Best for scenarios where the conversation needs to flow through different stages or topics naturally. So this would mean something like patient screening, where you have greetings and then screening. You have real estate lead qualification, greetings, and schedule. So as you can see, the conversation is split into blocks. So what that means, you have control over the conversation flow. If you're familiar with something like VoiceFlow or any of the node building platforms, this is where it's going to help you basically create that conversation block. And then of course you have a global prompt that the agent could follow to basically achieve its goal. If you had to transfer a call, or if you had to press a digit, IVR or something of that sort, it would also process that at some point, and you could specify where exactly it needs to do that. All right, so it's a little bit more hands-on with the conversation flow, but this is going to give you more visibility how the agent is going to carry out the task. Then you have the single prompt agent. This is what we're going to be building today. The great thing is it's just a one-shot prompt, but it's going to carry out the task just like a job description provided through the instruction. It's going to carry it out. You can attach custom functions like calendar, all that kind of stuff. So it can maybe schedule a booking in the calendar, or maybe send an email, send a message to a number, etc. So this would apply to something like a dentist reschedule. So it has a warm intro and a reschedule. So as you can see, you have the entire prompt as the agent's guidelines, but you also have access to something called a prompt tree. So this is where you have more visibility in terms of how each block can be carried out. And the reason why I like this is because it's not too hard-coded. It's slightly hard-coded, but you still have the prompt on the back, and you can also attach the custom functions. So Retell AI already comes pre-built with the cal.com integration, so where you can just plug in your API key and you should be good to go. I'd say Retell AI has done a good job making it accessible for everyone, whether you like control, whether you want less control. So we've talked a lot about the agent features. We already signed up to Retell AI. We created a project. Now we're going to choose a voice for our agent, and then we're going to write a prompt, and then we're going to do a test call, right? I already have a phone number connected, but you could do so at some point later on. But you can still test it out through the platform. So what we're going to do, we're going to create an agent and create single prompt agent. This is where you're going to have an option for healthcare check-in agent. Now, when you're in the agent builder platform, you will have access to the model. In this case, when you're using the model, notice there's also pricing attached to it. So obviously this is where you can control the prices real time, just like VAPI gives you visibility of the pricing here as well. The real time is going to be very costly for you. I would recommend 4.0, which is pretty standard for voice AI, or you could do Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is also great. You have control over the speed, the temperature, the volume. So you want it to be more emotional or calm. It's up to you. So Retell AI connects to the marketplace. Basically, it gives you access to all the popular voices from 11 Labs, Play HT, OpenAI. Choosing a voice is a topic on its own. We can cover it another time. But it's definitely a lot of things to consider when you're choosing the voice, and also pay attention to the accents and voices. Some places they're a little bit picky in the accent thing, so it needs to sound and feel like you're talking to someone who works in the business, right? So that's really important. So when you're also thinking about the voices, some of the voices are not going to be as advanced. So currently American voice, the British voice, some Latin American voices, Australian voice are a little bit ahead in terms of how natural and human they sound. But as you know, with anything, it's just machine learning. The more training data it gets, the more learning it has, it's going to get better and better, right? So it's always going to get better. You have an option to choose the voices, and you can also play them to see how that sounds like.
Greetings, I'm Anna, your wilderness-inspired AI guide, aiming to navigate and protect your digital environment with...
Hello, I'm Chloe, here to lend a hand with a smile. How can I make things easier for you today?
Hi there, I'm Evie, your friendly AI.
And this is where you can update the instruction. The instruction is like a job description, right? So this is, in this case, it is Kate from the appointment department at Retell Health calling Imtiaz. That's me, by the way. And you want to also, when you're doing these demos, personalize it for whatever the use case is. You could also add custom variables, inject with knowledge about the business, etc. We're going to learn that at another point. You could just pick out all the names here where they reference Imtiaz, and then you change it to your own name or the person who's going to receive the call. So something like that would be useful. And then you have style guardrails. And this is something like perhaps you're talking about the date, right? You want to use January 14th. You don't want to sound like a robot. Sometimes when we're reading text through the data, it could be like 14 hashtag this hashtag. Instead, make it more natural. These things control the style, so it sounds human, not robotic. You can also basically be conversational, be proactive, get clarity. And then lastly is the task, right? This is the instruction, the step-by-step process, the SOP that they need to follow for this particular task, which is healthcare check-in. So it's going to do this 1, 2, 3 steps till it was able to do the job. Now you can assign it to get the email, get the number, perhaps make a booking, anything you can think of, right? Now, if you were to add a booking feature or maybe sending an email, sending a message, you would need something like functions. So you're going to have to add your own custom functions, maybe add a webhook to that, to your make automation or something like that. Transfer call, end call, these are some pre-built functions you have already from Retell AI, so you don't have to worry about these. The knowledge base is also an important aspect here. So in some cases where the AI needs to be trained on the business, so it needs to get information from either their website, maybe some internal documents, etc. The great thing with Retell AI, it gives you ability to crawl web pages. So it auto syncs a website. So in the background, it's always has a task to pull in the latest and greatest information from the website. If you have a simple website, if it's a dental office, law office, whatever, just have it synced to the knowledge base. So another thing you can do is change it to multilingual if you want it to understand English and Spanish, but also understand that some voices, even though it's multilingual text-wise, it might not also speak Spanish. So the voice also needs to be multilingual. So pay attention to that, test the voices, see if it's multilingual also. So in this case, it's English and Spanish. There's only a select languages here, so if it falls outside the scope of your languages. So understand it's always a work in progress. It's going to be available at some point. We're going to use English. This is where you're going to control the speech settings, right? So we're just going to use call center to make it a little bit more realistic. Then responsiveness, interruption sensitivity. So the more sensitive it is, it's going to listen to your message or your voice, and it's going to interrupt. It's going to stop speaking immediately. Post-call data retrieval is also going to be important. It summarizes the conversation. We have visibility of the whole conversation. Now we want to either extract details from it, maybe name, email, some other important details, and maybe summarize the whole conversation. So we don't have like lengthy transcripts. We can just always aggregate it, make it something simple. So where you have option 2 is use text, and it's just going to give you a detailed summary. Security settings, you can opt out of data storage. So in that way, if there's sensitive data and all that kind of stuff, you're not giving it away to Retell. Retell has their own database. Now, if you want to control everything aspect of your data, your infrastructure, there's also custom voice agents you can build. LiveKit is really a platform all these voice agents are built on top of. So if you're enterprise, if you're really concerned about security, you could move everything to your local infrastructure, local database, and also make sure it's compliant. Now, understand it's not a one-day process. It takes time to control the entire infrastructure. So you need to start somewhere, and eventually you need to build this up. Then you have the webhook settings. This is where you can add in any webhooks. For example, any event that happened, maybe the call ended or the call started, you can send off something to happen. You can trigger something to happen with make automation Zapier by providing the webhook URL. You can also choose a welcome message. Okay, it could be custom, or you can also just have AI to generate the test message. You could click on test to test the agent. What we're going to do is actually call the agent on our number, because we've assigned a phone number to the agent, and I'm going to show you what that will look like.
Hi, this is Kate from the appointments department at Retell Health. Am I speaking with Imtiaz?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm calling to remind you about your annual body checkup scheduled for Thursday, April 4th, 2024 at 10 a.m. PDT. Will you be available at that time?
Actually, you know what? Can you tell the doctor that I have some urgent travel plans, and I'd like to reschedule to 12 p.m.
Unfortunately, I can't reschedule appointments over the phone. You can easily reschedule online. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Yeah, can you tell me more about Retell Health? What does it do?
Retell Health is a healthcare service provider that helps
Kate,
manage appointments, checkups, and other
can I ask you
health-related
something?
needs. We focus on making health, of course. What's on your mind?
How's the weather today?
I'm not sure about the weather, but you can check your local forecast for the latest update. Anything else I can help you with?
Thank you, that would be great.
You're welcome. Have a great day, and feel free to call us if you need anything else.
Okay, great. So as you can see, it did a pretty good job understanding the intent of the call. It was able to handle the interruptions. The responsiveness could have been a little bit better, so we could always increase it. You want to give some time for the agent to process, perhaps, and then respond. Sometimes you don't want to respond too fast. So it is a work in progress to basically tweak it to the right setting that you want. Did not have access to weather calling tools or perhaps scheduling tools, but if she did, with the functions, she'd be able to pull that up as well. So anything, any external knowledge that you want to provide, and we call this RAG, you could use it with the function call, or perhaps embed it into the knowledge base to give more context about the business. So hopefully this video was useful for you and you found value. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified every time I drop a new video on building agents, custom agents, voice agents, text agents, all that. Also, don't forget to join the preschool community where I'm gonna give you a roadmap to work on your agent building journey, and there's more resources under the voice agent module. So as you know, 2025 and beyond is all about agents, so we should all be building agents. Also need a game plan to start putting this forward to businesses and solving real world problems. So I'm going to leave these 2 videos for you to watch for more information. These are going to be relevant to you. Hey, so when you're ready, drop the silly chatbots and unleash the full potential of your AI agents.